Hello again, it's me, your favorite second monitor YouTuber. First, I would like to thank you for clicking on the video and interacting with my videos, even with the obvious low quality. Now, I don't want to stall or do all of that YouTube bullshit, so let's just jump right in. If your luck is an all-time high, or you are a QQ main, then Aventurine is the character for you. You want to get him? Good luck. You want to build him? Good luck. You want to use him? Good luck. You want shields? Good. Well, not that one. You don't need luck. His shields are pretty easy to get. You want him to target someone? Good luck. Since his rerun on the horizon, let's talk Aventurine. Timestamps will be provided. You can speed up the video if it gets boring. Hope you enjoy. First of all, let's talk about his kit, starting with his technique, the red and the black. I call it the black only because that's the color of your screen when you lose a gamble before a fight. Basically, Aventurine casts a slot machine, and there is a low chance you get 60% defense for 3 turns, otherwise you might get half of that. So you have to roll and hope you get it, otherwise you will have to do it again and again, and maybe even restart if you don't have enough technique points. 30% extra defense can be enough to protect your HP, since shielders don't regen HP. Basic attack, nothing special. Skill, shields allies. The shield is half of Gepard shield, but it can stack twice, so it's equal but more accessible and easier to get because of his talent. Before we talk about his ultimate, let's talk about his talent. His talent is the most important thing. Aventurine has 7 stacks mechanic. At full stack, he casts a follow-up attack that hits 7 times random enemy. It's something like HMC and Asta skill does, where it hits multiple enemies but randomly. Also, shielding allies as consequence. The way to get stacks is easy. 1, when shielded ally gets hit, AoE damage gives them extra stacks depending on how many allies have been hit. 1 from an ally follow-up attack, maximum 3 times a turn, which makes him work very well with Fascia and March 7th and other follow-up attackers, because Fascia will allow him to stack his passive immediately. And lastly, he can get stacks from his ultimate. Speaking of which, his ultimate is literally a life or death gamble. Aventurine will hit and cast a debuff on one enemy, causing them to take extra crit damage. That's not all. You will have a chance to get a number between 1 and 7 stacks. So you either get a full shield or you die. You basically are more likely to get a shield because having 4 stacks all the time isn't that hard. And that makes it so getting only 3 stacks or more from his ultimate is enough. Now, the extra things to know is that he gives 50% effect resistance to shielded ally, and he has a passive where he's able to resist a CC once in 2 turns. He also gets crit rate based on his defense, maximum 48% crit rate at 4000 defense. The shield from his talent follow-up attack isn't as high as one from his skill, and the crit damage vulnerability is quite nice. It makes the numbers look funnier. Now, if I had $1 every time an RNG system appeared in his kit, I'd owe him money because he'll make me gamble it and I'll end up losing more than what I had. About his vertical investment, if you already have him or you're planning to go all out, which one are more worth it? Eidolons or Lightcone? His Eidolons are good. E1 makes it so his ultimate can cast a shield on allies whether he gets full stacks or not. The shield is the same value as his skill, saving you in those clutch moments and increasing the party's crit damage. E2 makes him an Acheron best in slot because his basic attack will cast a debuff on enemies, 12% res shred. For his Lightcone, it gives him an extra defense and crit damage, and his ult does the extra debuff. Now enemies take extra damage and crit damage. Which one to pick? Honestly, it depends on the team and the situation. His E1 is very tempting. His E2 is perfect for Acheron and Dr. Ratio teams, since I think Trend of Universal Market can be good enough for extra debuff. But his E1 S1 is better if you use him in other teams that don't care about debuffs and care more about sustain and buffs, like facial teams. But since you'd be better investing in a full team rather than getting 2 copies, I'd put his vertical investment in the B tier, cause even though it is unnecessary and can be too much to invest, it does take a team from a strong level to a luxurious level. His teams are usually Dr. Ratio Topaz or Facial Topaz or Acheron. Actually, let me tell you a secret that 99.9% of doctors don't know. Sustained characters can be played in any team, at least before 3.0. After that, who knows? They might start releasing Harmony Shielders or Nihility Healers.
Again, I'm a healer.
Now, him or Acheron. I talked about this in the previous episode where I made Acheron for Dummies, link in the description. In short, personally I'd pick Acheron, but if you're running an Acheron-less account or you're missing a sustainer, then go for him. Now, this part will piss off so many people, so if you're sensitive, consider signing off this video. In my opinion, Aventurine is one of the best sustainers, but people are overly inflating his value. He was released right after Dr. Ratio and Acheron, and back then he found a fitting place for him, and that was the beginning of follow-ups meta. He's not that crazy DPS sustainer they all say, at least not at EU0. His kit is single targets and RNG. You may deal a lot of damage, but you end up targeting a minion or a high resistance enemy, but you still get some sustained value, and that's what I'm gonna value him as, a strong shielder and a good sustainer overall. But so far he's the only limited 5-star shielder. We don't know what future shielders can do. Honestly, I can think of many ways he can be replaced. For example, a non-RNG shielder or an AoE damage dealing shielder, something like how Lingsha replaced Luocha because of her AoE, or a niche buffer for follow-up attacks and summons if you play those. Also, some people prefer a cleanse rather than a chance of effect resistance. That's debatable and depends on situation. I don't like calling him a must-have for follow-up attack teams because he doesn't buff follow-up attacks specifically. He just benefits from follow-up attacks to do his job even better. It's like having Lingsha in a super break team and benefiting from Harmony MC and Ruan May's buff. This might sound like a con to most people, but in reality, this means that he is not a niche character. His buffs can work on everyone and his shields can be provided effectively since his skill isn't RNG but selects all allies. But I just want to clarify that if you are a follow-up attack enthusiast and you want a sustainer to replace your Luocha or Gallagher, I'd let you know if you don't have him already. He's not the unit you're waiting for. But since we don't know when the next follow-up attack sustainer will be released, you make your own decision. But there is always a new toy to wish for. A sustainer is low priority than a best in slot support. But if you got everything and only missing a sustainer, then he is him. Even if a new character replaces him in a year or so, you wouldn't mind keeping Aventurine. Besides, all characters are nothing but a limited time use until they are worn off and you get yourself a new upgrade. Watch my last video about power creep and you'll understand why power creep shouldn't be an issue. Now, with that said, I hope this video helped you understand his kit and gave you a better view on whether you want him or not. Last person who subscribed won 10 50/50s in a row. Maybe you should try and see what you're gonna get. See ya.